Yes, guys, hello and welcome back to the SpursRelated YouTube channel and podcast. I hope everyone's doing very well this weekend. Today, we've got a very special transfer update video. There's plenty going on. And as always, you guys are loving these 15 to 20 minute updates. Massive shout out to the support on the last one. Nearly 100 likes, and I requested 75s to see if we could get that. Guys, for this one, let's try and get 100 likes. It would be amazing. But today, I am joined alongside Andre of SpursRelated and Jack, all the way from his garden. Firstly, start with Andre very quickly, mate. How you doing?
I'm doing great. The weekend is always a nice time to relax. I hope all you guys are having a great weekend. But you know what doesn't stop? The transfer news. And we're going to give you that real shortly.
Love it. Love it, Andre. And Jack, how you doing from your garden?
I'm doing well from my garden, James. It'd be nicer to be in a beer garden. Actually, no, it wouldn't. I love being with SpursRelated on a Saturday evening, talking about all things transfers. It's a perfect time of the year. I love transfer season, and we're going to get into some of the latest rumours.
Absolutely love it. And yeah, there's 4 or 5 updates today. As I said before, guys, massive appreciation on the last one. It's incredible how well it's doing. And there was a little special word. I'm going to do another one to see if you guys are the real Spurs-relatables. So let's see what happens. Andre, over to you for the news, mate.
Great. So the big one, yesterday it looks like Tapsoba, I guess a little price tag got placed on him, a little number called 50 million euros, more or less. So, of course, pretty expensive. So more options have appeared. And it looks like Micky Van de Ven has emerged as a center back option. He's from Wolfsburg. He's around, I believe, 22 years old, towering 6'3" in height. Wolfsburg finished in 8th place, and I believe he scored 1 goal, got 2 assists, 88% pass completion, 81% tackle success. The big thing stalling this, though, would be the fact that his contract doesn't expire till 2027. However, talks are already beginning with this player to see how he feels about a move. But that's beyond there. In terms of what happens after, I think will be a lot that has to do with whatever happens with Tapsoba. But I believe Jack has a bit more on the stats.
I do, Andre, I do. So I've been doing a bit of research because I must say I didn't know too much about Van de Ven before he was linked with us. But Fabrizio Romano this morning gave us an exclusive, and he said he's one of the 3 options that Tottenham are looking at for that left centre-back role. And from the research I have done, he seems extremely fast. I'm sure all Spurs fans have seen the clip where he's run all the way back to his goal line and has done a fantastic goal line clearance. A lot of fans are comparing him to Jan Vertonghen at his time in Spurs. What a player and what a partnership he had with Alderweireld. But just quickly getting into the stats, what I can see here is he likes to come forward with the ball. He's in the 90th percentile for progressive carries. He is also progressive passes received, so that is playing the ball through the midfield or maybe switch field balls. He's also in the 86th percentile, and he seems like a lot of clubs around us. So Liverpool are linked with him quite a lot, and a lot of people are saying they'd love him to join them there. So we could face competition. He's relatively young. I think Andre will have his age, but I think he was 22. So he's someone who can progress with the club. Looks like a good signing. Also can play left back as well, interestingly. So if we want to have one attacking fullback and one that maybe sits back a bit more, so we can allow Porro to push on, maybe that's a good option Tottenham have got there as well.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really excited, honestly. Seeing that clip, seeing just other highlights, he actually looks really, really good. I'd be very excited to see what he can do at Tottenham. But I'll take it over to James to give the final verdict on what he thinks of this player.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like it would be a sensible signing. Young player, could almost be the backup to the key centre-back we get in. And also, left-footed, can play left-back as well. That screams Jan Vertonghen as well. If you remember, one of his best games for Tottenham did come from left-back when we played in the Champions League. I was actually there at Wembley against Borussia Dortmund in, I think it was 2018. And we won 3-0. Jan Vertonghen got an assist and an incredible goal at the end. Man of the match performance. Celebrated with the Super Jan Vertonghen celebration. Yeah. And this guy is getting compared to Jan Vertonghen, like Jack said. But also, if we're getting a player in so young, I feel like he shouldn't go in as the starting centre back, but he's there versatile, ready in the centre back position, left centre back, or as a left back. So it does make sense. Whether I think he would be, top priority, I'm not too sure. But certainly, if we're going for two centre backs, I would like this guy as our second one. He does look like a very good player.
Definitely. And the thing is that he is really appreciated on the level of Tapsoba. Like that's how excited the club is to possibly bring him in. So we'll keep you guys updated if more updates come in for Van de Ven. But definitely very exciting to hear that the players we're being linked with is something to be excited about. It's been a while since I think there hasn't been a window in a while where from the beginning we're linked with all these players to the tier 1 point, But moving on, the next big one is another center back option. We're apparently monitoring Adarabioyo from Fulham, who has 1 year left on his contract. He wants to leave Fulham. Fulham finished in 10th for the first time in a while, at least from when I've been watching the Premier League. They have not been relegated right after being promoted, so good for them. And I'm sure he's one of the reasons why. He played 29 matches, scored 1 goal, got 4 yellows this season, 83% pass completion, 79% tackle success. He's 25 years old and a towering 6'4". So definitely very excited to see what could be done here. But again, I haven't heard much of him, so I'll leave it over to Jack to give more stats.
So this is the thing for me. For me, he hasn't exactly got the most flattering stats, but as we know, you should never just judge a player on stats because it doesn't make up the full story. And in my opinion, the eye test is still one of the most important things, the way you watch a player, see what they do well. There's lots of different systems as well. So Fulham, for example, I wouldn't exactly say they're the most counter-attacking team, or they're not really on the front foot all the time either. So they're obviously about mid-table as well. They've had an impressive season, but they're not going to be a team that always have the ball at their feet. They're not going to be the most possession-dominated team. But he hasn't got flattering stats. So for me, and every time I've watched him this season, I feel like a lot of Spurs fans want him because he said a few tweets about Spurs in the past. He said he's a big fan of Tottenham and he used to love watching us. And I just feel like it's not someone who gets me excited. If this was the priority signing, I'd much prefer like a Van de Ven, a Tapsoba, and maybe a couple other signings that I've maybe put on my wish list in a video upcoming. So for me, maybe it's a smart backup signing. I wouldn't say I'm the most educated on the player, but his stats aren't the best.
Yeah, I would say it would just depend on who we got in first, right? If this is the first center back we bring in, I would be a little concerned if they're sort of start moving on to other positions. But I'll leave it over to James. He doesn't look very happy right now. So what do you think?
You guys kind of summarized it very well there. I mean, for me, it wouldn't make sense bringing him in as our first choice centre back, maybe our backup, but he's right-footed and plays right centre back or right back. So we need a left centre back first. That's the priority. Romero's our right-sided centre back. So yeah, a little bit confused on this one. I mean, of course, Davinson Sanchez kind of comes in at right centre back, but yeah, I think the left centre back should be the priority. And I know we're going for two centre backs, but I'd almost argue that you need two left-sided centre backs because I think Ben Davies isn't. He's always been a bit of a paper over the cracks. I always like to use it every few videos. He's a bit. Yeah, he's just a bit of a temperamental option, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
And left-sided as well on the left back, we're probably not going to keep regular, I'd imagine. And then you've got Udogie coming back, which is great, but then Sessegnon is awful. So, I think we need left-sided players, right?
Oh my!
Yeah, I would agree. We definitely need left-sided players, and I feel like maybe he can play on the left-hand side. We've been linked with Tapsoba. We know he's right-footed, but he's played on the left-hand side for Leverkusen this season. But for me, the overall feeling I'm getting is it's quite underwhelming. I don't really see much hype around him. I think if he was really taking the Premier League by storm, you would see a lot of clubs saying we need him. I think it's more the fact that he likes Tottenham. He's a player willing to come to the club, and maybe he's excited by the prospect, which is always good to hear. But I feel like we can set our sights higher on this one.
Yep, spot on.
Yep.
Well summarised. Guys, let us know in the comments if you're a big fan of Tosin Adarabioyo or whether you would prioritise someone else as our second choice centre-back coming in. 11 minutes into the video, we've got a couple more to get through, but I'm whacking in the secret word now to see if you guys are still watching the video. The key word is, we'll go with Tosin, Tosin, in the comments if you're still watching, in capital letters. And of course, smash a thumbs up on the video if you're enjoying these so far. Over to Andre for news piece number 3.
Perfect. So the next one is James Maddison. A bid is incoming. Tottenham look like they're going to finally make their move next week, according to Fabrizio Romano, which finally, thank God, all we've been hearing is that we're interested, and no official bid has been going in, no official push for the player. But obviously, since Newcastle have sort of been busy with signing Tonali, they've spent the big bucks on him. Now's the time to do it, because Newcastle could come back and get Maddison anyways. So definitely very excited about this one. But I'll leave it over to Jack first. Let's hear what you have to say. I think you excited about this finally?
Oh my word. Am I excited, Andre? That would be a complete understatement. James Maddison is such a great player, and I feel we would be extremely lucky to get his services. I'm laughing at James because he can feel the excitement through the screen. James Maddison is a fantastic player. Dead ball specialist. Loves to find the pockets of space, can score from anywhere. Massively creative. We haven't had a player like that since Christian Eriksen. We've been crying out that for ages. We've had the firepower up front, but we haven't had someone being able to deliver that service. We've been reliant on Kane, and James Maddison is the man to do that. He's brilliant. Like he says, he's a football man. Bring him in, pay the 45 to 50 million pounds. What a player.
Yeah, I'll leave that to Jack. I mean, to James now. I think it'll be the same sort of words and excitement. Am I right?
James Maddison, honestly, every time I talk about him, I get a bit giddy. I actually genuinely, I'm gonna be so gutted if we don't get James Maddison, because I've got to the stage now where I feel like we are in the lead for him for his signature, and the only thing stopping us is not stumping up 45 to 50 million, like Jack said.
Yeah.
A number 10 that is sought after by many top clubs. I honestly believe James Maddison is good to play in pretty much any Premier League team. Obviously, some teams already have a very, very good number 10, but James Maddison is such a good player. You heard it on the video yesterday how much I want him in. And yeah, let's get this done. Let's get this bid in. And let's not bid 29 million or something stupid. Let's have some respect this time. There was that talks over that potential bid where we went for Maddison and Barnes for like 60 mil combined. That is absolute nonsense. Maddison alone's worth 50 mil. Let's just get it done, get his signature, and we will be reaping the rewards next season.
100%.
Oh, for sure. And to be fair, just to quickly bring up that 60 million combination, I'm pretty sure that was that rumor was false, but the fact that was floating around is ridiculous, because it sucks that people believe that, because that's the kind of bids we were making. But yeah, hopefully we'll do something big. I know that at the end of the day, priority is center backs, but Postecoglou's priority for the number 10 position is James Maddison. And I don't think Postecoglou is going to be walking in a happy man ready to have his project go if we do not stump the money for this guy here, because this is who he wants.
Just quickly, I know we've got to move on. We've got to keep these videos nice, short and snappy, but I do think James Maddison, we've got a clear path to get him. And this time next year, or this time in January, we definitely won't. Lots of players may feel their number 10s are not delivering the service. There's James Maddison on the market. Let's spend the money and bring him in. We're not going to get a better opportunity. We're not in the Champions League. We're not in Europe, and we've got the opportunity to sign someone of his quality. Let's get the deal done. There's going to be a price there that Tottenham can make. Such a great player. I've said it enough.
What a player. Let's get him in, and let's move on to the next bit of news.
Perfect. And the last bit of news for you guys today is Bentancur has given an injury update. Of course, it was kind of sad to see that he didn't really take part in the Tottenham squad for the last bit of the season, and it really showed. We very much struggled in the midfield. So I'm glad that, we just talked about Maddison and all that stuff, but kind of a bad news. He says 2 to 3 months he hopes to be back. 2 to 3 months. I'm actually gutted about this. I can't believe it's 2 to 3 months still. It was a big injury, but I definitely miss him. I want him back already, but apparently he's training every day, putting in double shifts 2 to 3 times a week, working with his physiotherapist. So I guess time is the greatest gift here. Just hopefully he'll be back soon.
Totally agree. The only thing I would say is it's important not to rush a player of Bentancur's importance and quality back into this Tottenham side. We know how good he can be. And when you've got a serious injury like an ACL tear, I'm sure some people in the comments maybe have experienced it themselves, but we've seen with previous players, they don't come back to their peak ability straight away. So I feel like it's really important that we have cover. Some people may say you've got Lo Celso and Ndombele there, maybe as a ready replacement, just to fill in the gap. James is shaking his head straight away or doing his hair, one of the two.
It's in my hair, to be fair. It's an absolute shocker at the moment.
We all need to put down the barbers, don't worry. It's Saturday, it's not today. But no, I think Bentancur's such a great player. It's a shame we're going to miss him out for 2 to 3 months. But we've got a bit of quality in the midfield already. You never know, we might add to it. And I feel like when it's such a serious injury, let's let him rest and make sure he's doing the right recovery.
I agree. And I think the biggest way that we can do that for him is by bringing in players that can cover. I don't think nothing's worse for a player who's really wants success, seeing his club being sort of just failing and losing match after match just because he's not playing. But if he knows that he's got cover and he knows that when he comes back, he's got that rotation, he's able to start again. That's the best thing we can do. So by all means, hopefully this transfer window, we're nice and busy and we're smart about it. But I'll leave it over to James to give the final verdict on what he thinks about still missing out on Bentancur for the next 2-3 months.
Yeah, massive loss. You saw at the end of last season, like you guys said, we were a completely different outfit. Obviously, there was other factors in that as well, like, the off-field stuff, Conte leaving. But as soon as Bentancur came out of that team, we were a complete shambles. And he's such a good player. I'd say he's our second best player, honestly. And yeah, we need to be active in the window. We definitely need another centre mid, and we need a 10. So I personally want Sophie and Amrabat from Fiorentina. Not completely similar to Bentancur, but
in the 6. That's where I'd like to see him play.
But what I'm saying is he can fit in that midfield.
Yeah, I totally agree. And just another quick one for the Spurs fans who are still watching. So you've got a middle one and one at the end. I want you to comment. Who is more of the ready replacement for Bentancur? Ndombele or Lo Celso? Who would you rather see? And if you're completely against neither, but not a chance, don't bring either.
Jay, you just got some unsubs there, mate. Not support and likes. But anyway.
What you got, James? Just like your hair, mate.
Okay. Guys, smashed it again. 18 minutes. Great news from Andre and Jack and the stats and everything else. If you guys did enjoy the videos, please smash like. Massively helps us out. Can we get 100 likes? If we get 100 likes, I'll be absolutely buzzing. So 100 likes, and let's smash the subscribe button. We're growing day by day. Another 30 subs yesterday. Smashing it. Guys, thanks for your help. Thanks for the support. And the Spurs Relatables being class as always. And as always, guys, remember, come on, you Spurs!